Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just going to love into Bitcoin, big got a CoinsKid crew. So I'm seeing an awful amount of people right now playing catch up to the fact that June is the low, okay, or possibly the low. In my opinion, I think it is at the moment, okay. I think we're carving out the bottom, and I do need to see confirmation of that before I start jumping up and down saying it is the bottom, And like I said to you, I'm not going to get too excited because I want it to be the bottom, obviously, for everybody involved, and it'd be great, for us as a community as well to ride this wave from the bottom, because I would have called the last bottom the bottom as well. But right now, if it is the bottom, fantastic. We're looking at some appreciation across the board, not just for Bitcoin, altcoins as well, and it's going to be a very, very good time that we can all sort of ride from the bottom to the top, basically, because I only started making videos for you guys around about here last year, because I was coming on here, warning sign, telling everyone at the time, you really overextended. You've only got basically one impulsive move left before you come in for the correction, which in my opinion was a wave 4 correction, okay, and I hold my hands up here. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. It was on all the videos. XRP, Chainlink, Bitcoin, go back to that time right there. I was telling you, you've got to come in, and you did. Okay, you did come in. You came in. You was overextended from your EMAs. You got your big gaps to the upside, which is always validated overextension to me. You was meeting the 1618 fib target as well, which you've always met in previous bull runs. And at that point, you started to come back in, okay, for Bitcoin, and you did. And everyone thought it was some kind of genius, okay, at that point. And it's at this point you start to break out. But at this point, I didn't envision that the larger correction that you're in here actually started here. But in my opinion, it actually absolutely did right now, because the confluence that I'm seeing, not just on Bitcoin, in the DXY and the Bitcoin dominance chart, is the confluence in the altcoins, what they've done at that point. The likes of Chainlink, XRP, VeChain have put in a whopping ABC zigzag correction, in my opinion. It's potentially completed, okay. So for me, it is potentially done. The bottom's in, and I'm looking for signals to tell us it is. One of those primary signals that I always identify over extension, just like I was here telling you was coming in last year, okay, is this. It's exactly this, and this guy gets it. This is exactly what I was talking about in yesterday's video. The bullish bear here, he tweeted this, so I've retweeted it. But basically, you hear like you was there, okay, and I'm saying to you, you're looking at a 20 EMA retest, just like we got here, okay. When we got the 20 EMA retest there, I said, if you close below it, you're going to go down to the 55, because I've always said that to you. If you close below the 20, you get to the 55. If you close below the 55, it's doom and gloom, isn't it? And right now you can see just here, boom, we came down to the 55. We start to come back up, and then we've lost it, and we've come back down. So in my opinion right now, we've sort of got this overextension here for Bitcoin, where essentially you've not backtested this 20 in the downtrend, which is something you always see in an uptrend and downtrend. Please remember that. It'll always come back to it at some point, okay? So for me, I think we're sort of coiling up or bubbling up for some kind of breakout here into this 20-MA retest. Well, if it does start to do that over the next week or so here, you can see how that would actually begin to look quite bullish, because it means that you're creating this high low, we're into resistance, and, potentially get resistance on that 20, like I've said to you. Good place to TP, or swing trade or whatever, because at that point you'll come back and potentially create another high low, and then you're essentially carving out some kind of structural ascending triangle, triple bottom, double bottom, whatever you want to call it, where you're getting that price compression, leading to expansion, basically. So, again, if you do start to come up here to 20, and there's a big if as well, there's no guarantees, okay? And look, if you take a look here, we've got everyone calling for 10k, just like everyone were calling for 100k just there, but we came in, okay, for the support of that. So essentially, we could come in for the support of this 10k. This is what I'm trying to say to you. You're very overextended. It needs to come in for the retest, in my opinion. If it doesn't, and we roll here, okay, and we sweep these lows, in my opinion, you will become even more overextended. So at some point, you are looking at a 20 EMA retest as support, okay? So, if we do start to come up to this 20, you can see it's this high here as well. And then obviously, if we start to close above it, then my next target, I've always said this to you, is the resistance of the 55. So let's take a look at the charts right now. So looking at Bitcoin on the weekly then, I think yesterday we said, look, a lovely little place to go long where we were, it was coming down to this trend line as well inside the channel, and then equally, put a stop loss down here. So far, that particular position that I've actually entered the trades, not just on Bitcoin, XRP and Cardano as well, they're doing okay, and if it goes south, I'll just get stopped out, and it is what it is. But right now, if we take a look, this is a weekly time frame. What you can see here, we've got a low resistance, high low resistance, and right now, you're going to get some reaction next week or over the next couple of weeks here. For Bitcoin, whether or not we start to come down and lose these lows, you're going to get an impulsive move to the downside. If not, you're going to break up, and your recess of the 20 is going to be complete. So again, this is what I always try and teach on the channel. Ride the waves, find optimal entry points with minimal risk. So right now, potentially, I'm looking at a 25% long when people are really fearful, selling into that fear. Do you understand? But all you're doing is retracing for the continuation of this breakout, which you are currently in, which is impulsive, corrective, and coiling up and doing something like that over a long period of time is the bullish scenario. So one thing, it's going to get me really super bullish here for Bitcoin is if obviously we start to take out that level of resistance right there. That's just the ultimate bullish statement from Bitcoin, that your bottom from which you've came is in. But equally, I'm trying to find any more sort of pre-signals to that, and I think that if we start to come up above this 236 channel right now and take it out as resistance, because it's been a resistance since we've lost it just here, it was primarily our support. If we start to take that out, I would start to get a little bit bullish here, to be honest with you, and I would start to feel a bit more confident about the fact that, okay, our bottom's in right now. But again, no guarantees, because obviously Bitcoin could just like that, couldn't it? So it's why you always set stop losses, you move your stops up as well, you try and minimize your risk, and I teach you this on a daily basis. You can do all this, you can go long, you can go short, you can buy spot, whatever you want to do. Take advantage of making money in all this chop and sideways and boring price action by shorting resistance, longing support, and things like that. I'm teaching a level of education on this channel. I would like to think so, and I do see the replies and people saying thank you, you've changed my life, I'm making this much money and that much money, blah blah blah, and things like that. And it's great to see that I'm sort of delivering that message to you. So again, you can just do all this on BitGet, Bybit. It's entirely up to you. Both links are in each and every single video description. Each exchange has got a fantastic sign up bonus, so do take advantage of all this chop and noise. But remember, don't be a degen, don't go in for your life savings, and always apply stop loss just in case you go away, or you're not keeping your eye on the charts. Always apply stop loss in case it goes south. Okay, so right now, if we take a look at the daily time frame, you can pretty much see that we've bounced off this trend line here, the 236. Okay, we've run into resistance and come back to the 382 just there. So there's a little bit of confluence here. We're holding this support. So right now you're going to get some kind of squeeze over the next few days, because if you hold this support here, you see this trend line, see this neckline, okay? So you can see if we start to hold that, you've got these EMAs, the 10 and the 20 coming down in you. You're going to get some kind of break here, whether or not it's going to force you down, lose, or you're going to break and come back up. So I think if you was to start to come back up, it still doesn't mean that Bitcoin's super bullish. We're looking for the structure to carve out over a long period of time, but the longer we can go without losing these lows, the more confluence and the more probability is going to build up that the fact it is your low right now when you're looking at an impulsive move. And I'll lay down all the targets. So like I've always said to you, I think on the weekly, what we've got here is a low, run into the resistance of the 10, come back for a higher low, find the low and break. The next level of resistance is at 20, come back potentially into the 10, and then break out, and then you're on the 55. If you do start to see that, the 55, the retest, and start to take that out as resistance, that's super bullish for Bitcoin. So you enjoyed that update. A little bit of confluence right now is chain link. Let me show you what I'm looking at. We take a look at the chain link scenario right now. You can see we've got this overextension, like I've always said to you, overextension leads retracement, really in the floor like that. Come up into the 10, pretty much what Bitcoin's done. Come back for a high level support, broke through the 20, which is what I'm expecting for Bitcoin, okay, because I'm seeing a lot of altcoins do it. The front run off the bottom, they did in the previous bottom as well. Coming to 20, what happens? Resistance, coming back for a high level support. This thing looks like it's about to break out to the 55, okay. This is chain link, and you can see that all you're doing, exactly like Bitcoin, you ran into the 236. This is a Fibonacci. You see this red line? This is a 236 fib extension. You ran into it, come back for support, ran into it again, where was 20, which is pretty much what we're looking at from Bitcoin from this low right now. This is a leg that Bitcoin's potentially in. Run into the 20 and the 236 again, coming back for a high level support, carving out some kind of structural bottom down here, some kind of ascending triangle. Chain link is front running, because I think that if it starts to break out, you're on the 55, and this is a beautiful bottom. But again, nothing I say is financial advice, okay? Hope you enjoyed that little update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care. Bye bye.